Jody Halsted. All right, everybody, we're beginning. I'd like to introduce you to Jody Halsted, a good friend, and also you might know her from the iBlog conference.
They can probably hear me in the hall because I have a big voice. All right, well, what I'm going to talk about today is first how awesome these chairs are, and I'm kind of hoping there's a drawing for these later. Sale. All right. So anyway, my name is Jody Halsted. I go by IA Traveler on Twitter. Some people don't realize IA means Iowa, so they just think I can't speak, and I say, hey, IA Traveler. But, however you think of it, that's what I do. I am what I call a professional tourist. I take my family, we travel, and then I talk about it to just about anybody who will listen. I have two websites. The Family Rambling is about where we travel and when we go. And I also write a site called Ireland with Kids. I write for a bunch of other outlets too. And like I said, I share my story with whoever will listen. A few months ago, I got a pitch from a PR firm for my old blog, which was called Iowa Geek. I no longer write for Iowa Geek, and I said, but if you have anything to do with travel, let me know, and I will, we'll talk and we'll see what we can do. And they said, hey, we represent Megabus. I'm like, awesome, we have been wanting to take Megabus to Chicago. What can we do? They set me up with 4 tickets, and I took my children, ages 4 and 6, on the Megabus. They were by far, by about 12 years, the youngest people on the bus. My husband and I were almost the oldest people on the bus. But it was an awesome trip. So if you haven't taken Megabus, I highly recommend them. They are at Megabus on Twitter. That account is handled out of Des Moines, and they will respond. They are awesome on Twitter. So I decided that since we were doing this little trip on the Megabus, and I had somehow wrangled that through social media, that I was going to do this little project. So I made a hashtag on Twitter that was called Megabus to Chicago. And my first tweet was, hey, I'm going to Chicago. I need a hotel partner. Within 5 minutes, Omni Hotels had tweeted me back and said, we would love to host you into Chicago at our Michigan Avenue property. It's all suites. Right on. So starting with those two things, I started kind of planning a trip, but my whole goal was, we're going to wing it and use social media. So I used Twitter, Facebook, Yelp, Gowalla, and blogs. I wrote about where we were going. I wrote about some ideas that I thought we might do, and I asked for a lot of help. I said, hey, who knows what's really good for families in Chicago? Give me some ideas. Let me know what you got going on. Somebody tell me what's great. I got a lot of responses. I got some great responses from some Chicago tourism companies. I got a lot of great responses from just individuals. I had one person comment on a blog post that I wrote that said, hey, my sister's a zookeeper at the Lincoln Park Zoo. Get a hold of me, and we'll see if we can set you up a tour. Unfortunately, that didn't fit into our plans, but it would have been awesome. So using my smartphone, because I think everybody travels with one of these anymore of some sort. Anybody not take a smartphone with them anywhere? No? And Zoom, which I was hoping to use so I could flash it around up here and go, ha, 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 look what I got. But, it doesn't work that way. Best laid plans. Anyway, so I was using those tools to plan our trip. The funniest thing to me was that I was hashtagging the heck out of Chicago, hashtagging the heck out of family travel, adding places. I never got one response from the Chicago CVB. What's up with that? So anyway, I had this hashtag and I started asking for recommendations. I blogged at Uptake, I blogged at Family Rambling, and I talked a whole lot about this trip we were going to take. I got great recommendations. and we were able to do a lot of really fun things that I wouldn't have known about. There's a fabulous restaurant that I guess everybody in Chicago knows about called Ed Debovic's. See, I can't even say it. Not Polish, I guess. Is that? Anyway, so we went there. Isn't he Polish? Yes. Thank you. I was being offensive. Anyway, so we went there, and we're treated rudely by the waiters, as you expect. And I think my daughter cried a little bit. She's 4. Nobody's rude to her. She's cute. But, you know, once we explained that she could be mean back, it was really fun because she blew a straw wrapper in his face. So it's all good. So we used Yelp to find our restaurants. We used Gowalla to figure out, you know, what was really fun to do and what other people recommended. We used Scavenger, which is a really fun game. If you've never used Scavenger, it's kind of a touristy game. You can go places, you can complete activities, and you can earn real-world points for real-world prizes. So it's not just a pin like you get on Foursquare. You can actually earn, you know, a burrito at some places or free coffee at other places. So it's kind of fun to play. And we were tweeting and we were Facebooking, and we got a lot of responses. We found out who was really active on their Twitter accounts. Megabus is very active on their Twitter account. Omnia Hotels is very active on their Twitter account. The Field Museum of Chicago doesn't like to answer you very much. The only time I got an answer from them is when I said, hey, you know what? You guys sold me this really, really expensive package to get in the door. And then I found out afterwards that there was a cheaper one that would have been better for my family that wasn't offered. What's up? They didn't like that. They did not fix it. I wrote a big, big blog post all about it. Funnily enough, they did not respond. But I guess my point is that when people are traveling now, they're using their smartphones. They're using the resources that they have in the palm of their hand at that moment. They are doing a little bit of research. They're getting ideas of what they want to do and when they might want to do it to lay a foundation for their travels. But that foundation for their travel can change in a minute with one tweet, one Facebook post, or one recommendation. And there are a lot of travel companies that really get the media part, but don't understand how to be social. And it's really important in tourism to have the social part down. The people who are looking for you are wanting to come to you and spend their money. Let them. Go ahead and answer their questions. Make sure that their information is out there for them to find and is easily accessible. Don't make me look too far to find what I need to know. 2 or 3 clicks of my mouse, and I'm done looking. If I can't find it, I'm moving on to the next person. So where is travel in social media going? A lot of companies are really on the social media bandwagon in travel. They're out there, they're on Twitter. You know the big ones, Southwest Airlines, American Airlines, I think just updated their travel, and there are tons of travel companies out there. You're gonna start seeing more and more deals on Twitter. You're gonna start seeing more and more opt-ins on Facebook. And the smart companies are going to see who's following them, see who's talking about them, and make a really great connection with you. If you're at all interested in travel, if you're at all interested in learning more and going places, make sure you're following the people who are going to be reaching out to you in return and have those conversations. Because one of these days, you'll probably be on Twitter saying, hey, I want to go to San Diego. And if you tweet San Diego and hotel, you should have about 7 companies at least contact you within 5 minutes, say, we would love to have you stay, what can we do for you? Travel industry is an industry built completely on customer service. And as more and more companies start to realize that they need to rely on that customer service, you're going to see more and more companies actually reaching out to you and asking for your business and that will put the traveler in the driver's seat. Thank you.